Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another indie comic review, and in this indie comic review I'll be covering Big Game Issue 1 and also Ronin Book 2 Issue 3. So I'll now get things ready for the first one that I'll be reviewing for today. So first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside of the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. It's now time to move into the internal art, to which we'll have a look around the beginning, middle and of course the end. Oh, plus what is also happening story-wise. So as the story begins, we get a bit of a, it feels like a bit of a flashback of sorts to the year of 1986, to which they defeated one of the biggest heroes in their time, or a group of heroes in their time. And I must admit, I really quite like the art in this. As we jump towards the middle of the story, we end up meeting up with the group of the ambassadors, which make an appearance, and also what they're doing in this particular time period. And it seems that they're going to be used as a way to sort of like bring in sort of like new heroes for the world, instead of letting the villains take control. And last but not least, towards the end, which we get to see Kick-Ass and also a couple of others. We also get to see Nemesis make an appearance. So for the internal art, I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the story and its racing. So first things first, did we get anything time-wise? Yes, we did, of the year of 1986, but we didn't get anything sort of like addressing the present, the show it was in the now. And is this sort of like building up to show what is more to come and what is going to be connected to the past and also what's happening to the present here? Moving into the next area, and that is the locations that took place here. I'm actually surprised that there's no comic references in here, as I think for a new reader it would be really useful for anyone picking up this particular book and wanting to follow this series, especially if you might not be familiar with the series before. So we have the locations of Littlehampton, USA, we had North Dakota, and we had the Korean Embassy. The cast of characters consisting of Nemesis, Ahmed Khan, and Chun Hei. And of course we got to see the character of Kick-Ass in the story. For the overall story rating in this, I give it a 7 out of 10. Thank you, Mark Millar. I definitely look forward to how this story will continue, and please throw in some comic reference in here, just so new readers like myself might want to go and pick up certain series connected to certain characters that play a part in this series. I don't even care if you recommend a box set. Go ahead and do it. Alright, now it's time to move into Frank Miller's Ronin Book 2 Issue 3. Oh, and just to make sure, I rated this story a 7 out of 10. Sorry if I have happened to repeat this in the video. So, as we move into Ronin Book 2 Issue 3, first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside of with the story? In some essence it does, so overall I give it a 7 out of 10. The next thing I'll be doing is covering around the beginning, middle and end, as well as some of the things that are happening story-wise. So as the story begins, this almost feels like a type of rebirth process for the character of who the Ronin is in this story. And yet you get a lot of talk about rebirth, being restored, being renewed, and you see it throughout the story in many different places. Jumping towards the middle, we get to see the main character, that is the Ronin himself, and we get to see a lot of thought bubbles taking place within the story. And as we start to move towards the end, we end up seeing the character of Ronin, but we also see somewhat his wife in the future. We've got no idea as to when this is taking place. It would be nice to actually know in the story, because as much as I'm enjoying the art in this story, it would be nice to see some indication as to time this is taking place, location this is taking place, and maybe a little bit more clearer on the cast of characters, because you're going to get new readers who are going to pick up this story and not know who to how or which character is which. But I must admit, at least the art is consistently consistent. And of course, a bit of a preview to the upcoming next issue coming out in September. So for the internal art, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the story. So first things first, was anything addressed time-wise? Not at all. Actually, it probably wouldn't hurt to include a comic reference as well. Maybe to the previous volume, or even the graphic novel of the original one. Next is location. Still no idea where to how we are in this story, but I'm definitely enjoying what I'm reading. And I'm surprised that this is staying on as long as it is. And of course, last but not least, the cast of characters consisting of Casey, Ronin, and I think Billy's the son. And the son. And I couldn't quite make out the other, but we do understand that there is like a demon type god making an appearance in the story, but we don't have the demon's name. For the overall story rating, I give it a 7 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.